What? It's a PowerPoint? Welcome back to another Cedal Productions. I'm Tim, your LMS specialist, and today let's take a look at how we can convert a PowerPoint presentation that was made by Copilot into a Canva presentation. My goal is to take it from PowerPoint over to Canva so that I can embed it in a Blackboard course shell, and then it's going to be editable for the future. To get started with this process, first thing I'm going to do in Copilot, looking at the PowerPoint, and for that matter, any PowerPoint whatsoever, let's go ahead and get to the PowerPoint and get that opened up, and then we can go from there. I'm going to download it. Once it's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Now, I did notice something here, that when you open this PowerPoint, it's probably best to open it up actually in the online app version of PowerPoint. What I mean is, don't use the built-in PowerPoint that's on your machine, because I did notice that some of these features are not actually in there. My presentation's now opened up in PowerPoint, and I'm going to get it out of here in a way that I could take it over to Canva. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to go to File, and then I'm going to export this. And in the past, we've done this, but we realized this was kind of a shortcoming. We had downloaded it as a PDF, tried to take it into Canva, uploaded it there, but then we couldn't change any of the content, and it was like a flat image that didn't have anything that I could click into to change. So that wasn't so good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to export it to images. And we're going to download that, and it's going to give me a zip file of a whole bunch of images. So I've moved that zip folder to my desktop here, and what I want to do is I want to open that up, because I'm going to use all of these slides that are in here, and you can see there's 17 of them. I'm going to use those and move them into Canva. That's my next step, really, is I'm going to go ahead and let's restore this to full screen for a moment, and we're going to open up Canva. And in this tab of Canva, I'm going to open up Magic Layers. Magic Layers is a new feature in Canva that makes this all possible. It literally can take a flat image, any flat image, and break it into multiple layers that you can edit, change, and manipulate. So let's go ahead and do that. This is the shortcoming that we couldn't do before. And you can see it's looking for me to upload some images. I already have all the slides uploaded, but let's go ahead and give you a preview of what that's going to look like. I want to bring this back down here, move this over so you can see them side by side. Normally, I wouldn't have all my slides in here. I would go ahead and select the first one, scroll down, shift click to get them all selected, and then I would drag them all in there. But you can see all of them are already in here. So let's go ahead and just show you what one of them looks like in that process. Click on slide 1, I bring that over, drop the file. It's going to upload over here, and then you can see that slide 1 shows up here. Okay, now once I get to that step, I'm ready to start getting these slides converted so that they can go into a presentation. Before I start that process though, keeping this tab open, I'm going to open another tab of Canva. Okay, in this tab, I'm going to open up a presentation. This is going to be the presentation that catches all of the slides, newly converted, ready to edit. So let's go ahead and do that. We've already got a slide ready to go. Head on back to the Magic Layers. You're going to get a few tabs back and forth here in this process, so just get used to operating with those. Let's click on this first one, and we can see the magic of the Magic Layers. It's going to analyze it, and then it's going to break it into a whole bunch of layers here. And since we've already got this as all of my things imported, all my slides imported, we'll go back up to full screen. So now you can see we've got all of the layers here. Let's go ahead and copy them. And then we're going to switch over to that other Canva presentation that's blank, paste them, resize them, and voila. I'm going to create a new slide because I know I'm going to be bringing over like 17 slides of content. So let's go back to that previous tab. Now I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between these tabs here, each time copying a new slide and then pasting it into the presentation. So let's go ahead and look at that once again. These come in, you're going to have to choose the order of the slides so that they come over in the right order. And I did this in reverse, so I'm going to build this out from the back moving forward. Here's one of my slides from my slideshow. There it is, the learning outcomes. That makes sense. It analyzes it. Let's go ahead and copy that. And then I hop over to that presentation and I paste the content in here and I resize that. And then I create a new slide. And then I repeat that process again. You're going to get into a rhythm of this. So whether you've got 17 slides or 30 slides, this is going to significantly cut down on your time of recreating this presentation from scratch. Copy all the layers, go back over to the presentation, paste this, resize it. Now, when I'm done with this, I'll have all 17 slides that I copied and pasted over to Canva. And the beauty is, look at this. I can click into any of these features. I can swap stuff out. I can go to any of the slides. I can move the slides around, and they're not on lockdown here. So I can go in. I always wanted to change this. Maybe I head in and make some revisions, and I can change that. I can add on to the slides, and I'm not like locked in here. I can add in the transitions now that go along with this. So let's say I take all of my slides, and I just clicked on the first one. I'm holding Shift, and I'm clicking on the last one, and maybe what I want to do is I want to animate these, and let's go ahead and do Magic Animate. And let's go ahead and keep it professional. Ooh, that's nice. And then it's going to apply that to my design. So now if I go back to that first slide, and then we go into present mode, I'm going to see those animations come to life here. Now before, when we were importing PDFs from PowerPoint to Canva, we had none of these features. We couldn't do any of this stuff. And now you can see each slide is its own thing, and I can change that. And I can make revisions on those slides and move things around, and everything actually fits the space the way that it's supposed to. As a bonus add-on here, let's go ahead and take a look at how this plays out so that I can actually get this presentation into a live course in Blackboard. Again, you can embed presentations from Canva in Blackboard. In fact, if I were to make changes to this presentation and it were embedded in my Blackboard live shell, those changes would ripple over to my live shell and they would show up there. For instance, let's go ahead and share this. I'm looking for the embed mode here. If I'm not seeing that, I click See All, and now I can see all of the options of how I can get Canva out of here and somewhere else. Let's go to Embed. It's going to give me two options here. There's the Smart Embed code and the HTML. I want the HTML one. That's the one that plays nice with Blackboard. Let's go ahead and copy that. Okay, now I head on over to Blackboard. Once I'm in Blackboard, I'm going to do the usual. I'm going to create an empty document. And I can create this document wherever I need this in my live course shell. And let's call this Canva presentation. And now I'm going to take that embed code and put it into an HTML block in this document. Let's paste that. Canva likes to add on one line here. I'll show you what it looks like. Click out the outside. If I scroll down, you can see the name of the presentation and who created the presentation. I don't need all those accolades. So usually what I do is in the code, it's the last line of code that's in here. I just triple click on this to select that code and I delete it out of here. And then when I go back to this, it's just my presentation and it's much cleaner look overall. Let's go ahead and save that. And now I can present right from here in my live course shell from this document my Canva presentation. I just shared that in here. Even better yet, I can go down to the corner, mouse over that, enter full screen mode, and now I can present this. And even better than being able to present from here is being able to make changes in Canva and have those changes show up here. So let's bounce back to Canva for a moment. And I realized that, oops, I've got a couple slides out of order here. Let's just say that these two slides are supposed to be swapped around. And I do that here. And now I've got a new order of slides. When I head back to the document and I refresh, now I can see when I advance through these slides here that they are in the new order that I had put them in. So again, remember I swapped these two slides around here, and then I came back here, and now they are in that order. I didn't have to do anything here. It automatically updated. I didn't have to update or upload a new file or anything like that. It makes the changes in live. And the same thing goes for not just changing the order of the slides, but changing the content. If I wanted to go back to Canva and switch out the wording of this session, I could type that in here and then come back, refresh this window, and it will be updated here. That is the beauty of embedding documents. Hopefully that was a clear run through of that whole process. Thanks for joining us for another Seidel production. Bye.